Tonight on Patriots This Week, Mike Vrabel said his return to Tennessee, where he once coached, was interesting, but not important. Perhaps the coach was channeling The Godfather. This trip wasn't personal. It was strictly business, at least until the Patriots walked off with the win.
Coach Vrabel, we love playing for you. Appreciate it. Glad you're our head coach, and we love Coach. Hey, good job.
But you know it's personal for him, and we just want to play hard for him.
I know it means a lot to him. He might not say it, but I know.
The Patriots' fourth win in a row was highlighted by the acrobatic.
Throws it back corner for Hooper. Reaches up and makes the catch.
By your friendly neighborhood receiver.
I seen the ball behind me. I said, oh, something Spider-Man is tight. Yeah.
And by May's magic touch.
Open man Woody, and he reaches out, he snaps it, he tumbles into the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots!
For the first time this month, the first-place Patriots are home, and the Cleveland Browns stand between them and their fifth consecutive victory.
Break it down! Break it down! I got it! Bring it up now! Hey, team on three. 1, 2, 3.
Now it's time for Patriots This Week.
Before Mike Vrabel's return to Nashville, he told us that storyline might be interesting, but it wasn't important. What was is that Vrabel's Patriots beat the Titans, and at game's end, there were chants of Vrabel around Nissan Stadium. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Patriots This Week. I'm Bob Socci, along with Scott Zolak and Brian Hunter. And we were there with those chants ringing out as the Patriots ripped off a third straight win on the road in 3 weeks and a fourth consecutive victory overall to maintain their first place standing in the AFC East.
As good as they've been for 4 weeks, they got a lot to work on. And I think that's the best thing that comes out of this stretch, this month of games. I didn't like the way they started the game on defense. I didn't like the way they started on offense. Pretty frustrated there, midway through the second quarter. And then they got it going right before the half. You get the big play to Booty, down the middle, down the seam on the deep post, get the double score again. That's twice in 2 weeks. And what this team has done, they fought back through adversity the last 2 weeks to win football games on the road. And Brian, you know that's very difficult to do in a National Football League. You gotta win games.
Yeah, you got to love that, the ability. Adversity's coming for you at any point in the season, and they've had to deal with it. I think you're right, Zoe. They didn't start fast on defense.
Why do you think that is?
Well, so I thought it was interesting they talked about the script. There is something to be said about that when you're going against a good team that knows how to game plan. And don't forget who was calling plays for the Titans. This is Bo Hardigree, a guy who learned under Josh McDaniels. He understands how to game plan for a team. And so whether it was a long touchdown pass to Cam Ward, he alerted the play. There was clearly something they saw. But the defense made the adjustments as the game went on, and now all of a sudden you're out of that script, those 15 plays that you rehearsed all day Friday, you walked through on Saturday, you knew coming in the game you were going to run. It gets into the game, Patriots make a little bit of adjustment, they're winning and they have stuff to clean up. I don't think they're the type of team that says, oh, we made those mistakes, let's brush them under the rug because we won. I think Vrabel's saying, look, it's great that we won, we're going to celebrate it, but we got to fix this stuff. When it comes to having the right guy in the right positions, you have the head coach, you have the offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels, and you have the quarterback, and the team believes in it. I loved seeing that clip of Drake giving Vrabel the game ball, and they're kind of jostling around. Like, to me, that reminds me of those locker rooms that we were a part of, where guys are playing for each other. You see the camaraderie, and Zoe, those are the most dangerous teams.
And I think Mike's playing it the right way. No game balls for Drake this year. As good as he's been, he's in the MVP race because I think Mike's telling him, I expect this from you every week. But that was genuine. That wasn't forced, what he did with Mike there. And I think it's sort of, I don't want to say a passing of the baton for the power, but when Mike Vrabel got here, one of the first things he said, the quarterback is almost like management because you touch the ball every play. We got to get him playing at a high level, got to have him confident and have him be a leader. And I think he's doing that right before our eyes, and it's amazing.
And Mike Vrabel also said before the game in Tennessee, the quarterback plays a big role in the running game. And the running game was effective right from the outset. Looked like they drove that point home, in fact, on that first series with Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, they really did. And I think Drake's doing a good thing, pointing everybody out, resetting stuff, bringing Matt Collins down if he needs to.
Yeah, I think the one thing you're seeing, and Mike's right, in this system, the quarterback has to get everybody set on the same page. And you've seen total ownership by Drake on pointing the mics, making sure people get set. I know there was one play where he didn't see, was it Matt Collins was waving, hold on. But for the most part, you've seen a guy take command, and that's what Josh wants. He wants you put it great, he's a manager on the field.
Drake made 21 of 23 passing The only thing that really stopped him on Sunday was the spotter. We'll talk about that in the next segment, when he had to leave amidst a series in the third quarter because of a potential head injury. But you said it, Kyle Williams, the one guy hasn't found
I say that jokingly
on the same wavelength.
Sorry to interrupt you there. He's a young guy. He's the third-round pick. He's got speed. They got to figure this thing out with him. You got everybody that understands the offense. I think Kyle Williams is trying to play catch-up, but at some point you're going to need him. You're going to need him this year to take the top off the defense, take the shot. But he and Drake are not in the same zip code right now.
Ball's downfield, too. May throwing with great precision downfield. Booty makes a catch right down the middle. Huge play there. Austin Hooper coming out of his break. Drake releases to the corner. That's a fantastic play on each end. Hollins down the sideline. Ball spread around.
I think Drake is playing almost in a flow-like state. It's almost like, I'm going to get the play call. I know what the purpose is. I'm going to see what the defense gives me, and that's where the ball's going to go. I'm not keying in on one guy. The touchdown to Booty before the half. But that, to me, in that play call, that's a staple in that 2-minute offense. And usually the safety in cover 4, in that situation, he's going to get depth. But he had a push call to number 3. He pushes, Drake sees it, ball, boom, a beautiful throw, beautiful catch. It just shows me that he is in command of this offense. And when you have that, and I mean, honestly, I've been afraid to say it because you don't want the other shoe to drop, but I think it's time to call it what it is. He has total control of this offense, and he's out there executing, and really the sky is the limit. And I think that group of receivers, there may not be a true number one. I'd say Diggs is the number one, but they're selfless, right? They don't care who gets the credit. They're building each other up. And I think Kyle Williams will come along. He's the speed guy. Yeah. Even if you throw him out there to throw some of these deep stock posts, let the defense know our quarterback likes to throw it deep, and we have a really fast guy over here.
How about the offensive line play? Because while Drake had those terrific numbers and they ran the ball well, there were also times when the pass rush of Tennessee got to the quarterback far too easily.
Yeah, I thought Wilson struggled early in the game, but I thought he got better as the game went on. Now, you had the big guy that goes out there, pulls his hamstring, so you don't have Simmons out there. That's a brush of fret there, right there. The touchdown pass to Booty, the pocket. None of this happens if you can't have linemen that can't block and keep him upright. He made one hell of a throw to Booty on the left side. The one time I think that Campbell struggled, he got pushed back into Drake's lap, flat-footed. I mean, he's making throws, Brian, that you and I could never even think of making.
Yeah, that's what's so impressive, and you're right.
You don't teach that or coach it.
No, you can't coach it, and I think you're seeing his natural ability paired with the understanding of the offense, and that is a beautiful marriage. But to the protection point, there was a time I think Wilson got beat. There was maybe a TE stunt I remember where he got hit and sacked, but the throw to Booty where he gets hit is able to complete it. He's going to take hits in the pocket. He's going to take hits down the field. How long can you keep him upright? Because when you do, you know he's deadly accurate.
Mike Vrabel talked at the outset of the season. We got to avoid bad football and take advantage of bad football.
Can you learn from your mistakes, too? Those 2 penalties up in Buffalo, where you had 2 young guys come in, where you're really thin on the defensive line, you get 2 personal fouls, those things are gone. 3 games later, they don't exist anymore. So I think you can make mistakes as you go, and I think Mike appreciates, I'm starting to learn what Mike likes and what he dislikes. So he appreciates the aggressive mistakes. He'll live with those fouls. It's the ones where you line up in a neutral zone, that's inexcusable. Or the tackle false starts. You can control that.
And for the second straight week, the Patriots get those double scores between the first half and the second half. When we come back, we're going to double up on Drake May talk right after this on Patriots This Week.
Patriots This Week is brought to you by Cross Insurance, official insurance broker of the New England Patriots. By DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots. And by Sports Illustrated Tickets, 50 million sports, concerts, and theater tickets. 0 fees. Fans deserve better. Visit SITickets.com today.
This week's Cross Insurance Player of the Week is Kaylavon Chason, the 6'3", 255-pound edge rushing linebacker out of LSU has made a significant impact since signing as a free agent. The 20th overall pick in the 2020 draft by the Jaguars, Chason has 4.5 sacks this season, and the 26-year-old scored his first touchdown for the Patriots with this fumble return against the Titans. The Player of the Week is brought to you by Cross Insurance, the official insurance broker of the New England Patriots.
Okay.
Play fake, roll into the pocket, moves up, rolling right. He's being chased. Drake tucks it under his right arm, carries to the near side. He's slammed to the ground along the near sideline, driven down by Roger McCreary, fourth-year player out of Auburn.
Slow getting up here.
Hate to see the way his head snapped back there on the turf. Greg Rolstad, the referee, is coming over.
Oh, they're checking May, dude.
To take Drake May to the sideline.
We're back in the Bob's Discount Furniture studio. You see the play with Drake May hitting the turf, then being summoned to the tent by the independent spotter to have a potential head injury examined, evaluated. And guys, when we talk about Drake May, outstanding athlete, he's passing so well from the pocket, he's making plays with his legs, but there is still that moment in every game, if not more than that, when you hold your breath and tell him, get down, get down.
Yeah, and I think we got to go back to last year, like him staying in bounds. Was it against Miami?
Yep.
Where he took the extra shot.
Yeah.
The jet game, get hit from behind. Those ones I don't think you can really control. I think you can get down quicker, get out of bounds. But you also have to be careful getting out of bounds. Keep your fingers crossed. It's football. It's a contact game. But anytime that head goes off the turf, it's a good job by the independent doctor to get him. Now, when he went to the tent, I saw the head down. I'm thinking he's not coming back.
They didn't have spotters in your days, but Brian, you were summoned to the sideline in Green Bay and went through that process.
We had smelling salts, Bob.
What takes place?
And all I can remember from going to that blue tent as Green Bay is getting the spins. And it's if you're claustrophobic to begin with, now you're in there, the light's weird, you got 9 people in your face. What day is it? Who are you playing? What time is it? Who'd you play last week? Who's the president? Like, they're grilling you. And my biggest concern is there's not been many guys to go in the tent and make it back out, because once they get you in there, they start, checking your pupils.
Yep.
The moment you go back to the locker room, that's it. Well, he came back out and was throwing and slicing and dicing, so you knew he was okay. No one's going to, especially with the spotlight on concussion, no one's going to put someone back out there that doesn't pass that test. But ultimately, getting back to the protecting yourself part, that one to me was almost a freak. He kind of got tackled from behind, which goes to show you, to your point, Zoe, this is a physical game, and like I said before, you're going to take hits in the pocket. Now when you get outside the pocket, there's got to be a time and place where you're going to extend for that extra yard. And I think, honestly, I've seen a concerted effort by Drake when he gets out there to be ready to slide or to be ready to see a little hole and dive down and get himself to a safe place.
We've come a long way. We have, and I think that's the good thing here. My son, your son, plays football, and I'm glad that if something would happen to them, that they could get ahead of it, because I think they just roll us out back in the day.
My wife's like, I want him in the safest helmet. So, of course, what do? I talk to Stick down here in the equipment room. All right, what's the highest rated one? It just so happens it's the same helmet that Drake's wearing. Obviously, no helmet can prevent concussion, but I have to imagine a lot better from when you played or even when I started.
Yeah, you could talk about other injuries, too, because I remember talking about this with Tom at the end, towards this end here, and I'm like, how do you stay healthy? He goes, you know what? We study things, and I learn how to fall now. Like maybe 14 years ago, I just let my body go. He goes, when I'm going down, I got to turn, make sure I don't fall on top of my shoulders. He had the shoulder surgery. He had the ribs. You remember getting shot up there, and you know what he went through. But he learned how to take care of himself when he was getting hit.
And when we continue, we'll talk about the Cleveland Browns right after this.
Everybody, it's time now for your Zoe Show. Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look at Denzel Ward, 8-year veteran, number 4 pick overall in the draft. He's one heck of a corner. His nickname, the Warden. Why? Because he locks you down. Let's take a look at it right here. Freeze it. So you look at the angles here that this guy's going to take. Watch the ability and watch him close here. Go ahead and roll the tape. Here he comes. Boom. Right down the line. Offhand bats the ball down. We've seen Christian Gonzalez do that. Okay, where's he at now? Oh, he's got to be right here, right? So this one's impressive. Watch this. So you're going to get this thing here. There goes motion. He's going with it right now. Tells you that's man-to-man. Look at that closing ability right there. So Drake May, everything to the sideline, you got to be on your game. Now, this is a gimme here. This is going to be his zone coverage. He's got deep half. Go ahead and roll the tape. This is an awful throw by Jared Goff. I mean, Denzel Ward's all the way back, gives him a freebie. Like, that's an easy one right there. That doesn't count. We're not going to count that pick. The other one, the 2 deflections, those are better plays than the interception. So from Drake May, work the middle of the field, work between the numbers, top of the numbers, stay away from the sides, because this guy will get one. There's your Zoe Show.
We're back in the Boston Discount Furniture Studio. It's the Patriots and the Browns this Sunday at 1. Cleveland coming off a rout of Miami. Second win of the season for Kevin Stefanski's team. Young quarterback, and they're starting to turn over that roster.
What a lot of drama with that quarterback positioning, though. You get Flacco, then you end up trading him within the division. He has that type of night the other night against Pittsburgh on Thursday Night Football. Are you going to play Shador? No, you're going to play your third-round pick, Dylan Gabriel, who they got from Oregon. You got to find out what this kid can do, because they got to make decisions in the offseason. Do we get a veteran, or do we roll with the young kid?
And they're in a predicament because of the quarterback who preceded all of them in Cleveland, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, and going into the season, I think their philosophy was, let's get as many cheap quarterbacks in here as we can, see what happens. They're going to go with Gabriel. He's getting his feet wet underneath him. He's played a little bit better. They had some good running game for him last week. Ultimately, I think this is going to be the toughest test for the Patriots offense, going against this Jim Schwartz defense. Obviously, Myles Garrett. They have Ward out at corner, some other good players. I think this is going to be a real challenge, and this is where a guy like Josh McDaniels comes into play, because there's no way he's going to let Myles Garrett wreck this game. And Myles Garrett's going to line up over on Will Campbell's side the majority of the game, so I would look for him to get chipped, slammed, hammered. Like, they're going to let Myles Garrett know, we know where you are, and we're going to make sure we take care of you all day.
Let me ask you this real quick. You know how when you go out and you point where the mic is?
Yeah.
Would this be the type of game where you go out, hey, Garrett's here?
Of course.
And don't point out Mike.
I guarantee that when
Josh used to do
they hold that meeting on Wednesday morning, they're going to say, we have to know where 95 is on every single play, because he can wreck the game. He's one of those guys you walk out on the field and like, I play in the same sport as this guy? I mean, he's one of those freak of nature.
Jeffrey Simmons last week.
Yeah, exactly.
Arms are as big as my legs.
Well, Jim Schwartz is the defensive coordinator for Cleveland, and I remember when Detroit under him came into Foxborough with the #1 defense in the league, and the Patriots took Ndamukong Suh out of the game essentially by nature of the way they passed the ball so quickly.
I was an 18-year-old freshman at the University of Maryland, and there was a grad assistant there by the name of Jim Schwartz, and we used to share pizzas, and he was one of the most feisty, angry guys that worked his way up the coaching ladder. I'm so happy for him, because like back in the day, like this guy did everything. He was a runner. He used to get Gatorade just like Charlie Weiss back in the day.
And if you remember that 2017 Super Bowl against Philadelphia, he was the defensive coordinator. That was a top-ranked defense in the league. What did we do? I mean, I know we didn't win the game, but Tom Brady set a record for passing yards. We were able to do
no punts.
No punts. I mean, Josh has a history going against this guy, so he understands what he has to do, especially when he has a player like Myles Garrett.
Brian referenced the running game for Cleveland. Big day for Quinshon Judkins. He was the backfield mate of Travion Henderson at Ohio State. Had 3 touchdowns, including a score out of the Wildcat.
I still think about his pants and how he cut him off in that national title game, and his thighs, which is so thick. You got to worry about this guy. So when you run wrinkles like this with the Wildcat, you got to prepare. And I think that's 10 more plays in practice you got to deal with.
And Mike Vrabel, of course, has a connection to all those coaches in Cleveland now, based on the year that he spent in Northeast Ohio.
Knowledge,
that's right, a little inside info.
It is, guys.
I love it.
We'll see Bubba Ventrone here, the special teams coordinator for the Browns, Mike's old teammates. So there are old ties renewed this Sunday for the Patriots as they look to take advantage of Cleveland and get back on the winning track at home.
Right.
They've got 1 win at home over Carolina, but they really want to establish a home field advantage. They got a great opportunity, 5 of the next 7.
And I think Mike Vrabel understands that, what the fans mean, because like the last couple games, he's been thanking the fans for showing up. Like, let's get home. We got to win at home, and we got to get that place loud and help the defense.
We got to keep this one on schedule. We're back with the predictions right after this.
Patriots This Week is brought to you by Cross Insurance, official insurance broker of the New England Patriots. By DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots. And by Sports Illustrated Tickets, 50 million sports, concerts, and theater tickets. 0 fees. Fans deserve better. Visit sitickets.com today.
Coming off the bye week, say hello to Derrick Henry in your starting lineup. With Lamar Jackson's status still up in the air, expect the Ravens to count on King Henry when the Bears come to Baltimore. But keep Jaylen Warren on the bench. The Steelers' back has had a solid year, but there won't be much running room when the Packers' run-stuffing defense comes to the Steel City. And don't nap on Chase Brown. The Bengals' back broke the century mark in his last game. With Joe Flacco revving up their passing game, Brown should have a productive day at home against the low-flying Jets. This week's fantasy picks are brought to you by Verizon.
All
right, we're back for the final minutes of Patriots This Week. Time for predictions. Pats and the Browns. Who wins, Scott Zolak?
Well, we're going to talk about Myles Garrett again, and Brian said it. Where's number 95 at? The offensive line is going to be the game changer. The whole line. More importantly, Will Campbell. He lines up 80% of the time over that left tackle. Patriots 26, Browns 13.
I love it. And mine's going to go along with yours because that run game is going to build off of what they did last week. Mondre Stevenson is going to be the game changer.
Then let's play action.
Let's go, yeah, and get a little play action pass off of it. Let's go Patriots 27, Browns 6.
All right, Patriots looking for a high five, a fifth straight win and a sixth overall. These guys think it will happen. For Scott Zolak and Brian Hoyer, I'm Bob Socci. Thanks so much for joining us. So long, everyone.